And now let's listen to an example. All right, notice the spots where I take in breath. He who sits upon the throne, we worship you. We worship you. You are great beyond the farthest stars. Oh,
if you can talk, you can sing. There is really nothing to it.
Breathe in, breathe out, add a little vibrato. Yes, anyone can sing, but you gotta be consistent.
Know your do re mi is just like 1, 2, 3.
You will be the best and you will sing so well. It's time to sing with Frank at TBL.
hello once again and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about breath points, breathing points, those points where you take in breath while you're singing. Now, in singing, breathing points refers to planned places within a song where a singer takes a breath. These are crucial for both technical control and expressive delivery. Here's a comprehensive overview. So, like I said, breath points are specific spots in a vocal phrase where a singer deliberately inhales to, number one, replenish air for sustained vocalization. Secondly, to maintain vocal tone, support, and pitch, and also to enhance musical phrasing and expression. Now take note, they are not random gasps for air. They are consciously chosen and practiced for best musical effect. So just like the song you heard, I didn't go, he who sits upon the throne. It's not where you feel like taking air. No, it's not where you feel like, it's where you're supposed to. So there's a big difference with where you feel like taking air. You know, if you ask me, I felt like taking an air there, but it doesn't work in the context of the song. Listen, he who sits upon the throne. Neither did it work there. You have to sing the whole line and there's a spot where you have to take an air. He who sits upon the throne, we worship you. There's another one. We worship you. By the way, this song is by the Lover Singers. One of my favorite worship songs is called Mighty is Our King. You can check it out. So, why are breath points important? Now, proper breath points help prevent running out of air mid-phrase and reduce strain on the voice, just like you heard before. Also, it helps with phrasing. Like commas and periods in writing, breath points help shape musical phrases and give them meaning. It also helps you with stamina. It's like an exercise. You breathe where you're supposed to breathe in, not where you feel like. So good breath planning allows for longer singing sessions without fatigue. Now, it also helps with emotion and interpretation of the song. Well-placed breaths can add drama, urgency, or tenderness depending on the context. So, here's how to choose your breathing points, your breath points. So, breath points are usually determined by a mix of musical structure, lyrical context, and vocal technique. So number one, you're going by lyric-based cues, which are natural phrases in the lyrics like punctuation. For instance, a whole sentence would be, he who sits upon the throne, we worship you, we worship you. Okay, so we worship you, comma, we worship you, full stop. So he who sits upon the throne, comma, we worship you, comma, we worship you, full stop. So he who sits upon the throne, punctuation, we worship you, comma, we worship you, full stop. See that? And also end of a line or sentence. So apart from punctuations, Song is not written like a letter. Songs are written in order of how you sing it, in order of arrangement, in order of the lines. For instance, if I want to write the lyrics, I will put he who sits upon the throne, just by itself on one line. We worship you. Maybe by itself on one line. We worship you on one line. Okay. Now the fourth line, you are great beyond the farthest stars. Okay, so that will be on a line by itself. So that tells you that when you sing a line, you take in breath. You sing a line, you take in breath. Again, he who sits upon the throne, breath. We worship you, breath. We worship you. So when you're writing out your lyrics, you can write it down also in this manner. You can also choose your breath points by the change in thought or emotion of the song. All right. And then the second one is musical phrasing. End of a musical phrase, cadences or natural rests after long sustained notes or runs. There's a part where I did a long runs and oh yeah, I went, you are great beyond the farthest stars, and I went, oh, and I took a breath. There's a rest there, okay? And then I started the next line. Eternal rock of ages. That's the next line. Another thing is technical necessity. Before high or sustained notes, you can take in air, okay? For instance, just the transition between the verse and the chorus. Anyway, there's a long space there anyway, but there's something I did before the chorus. You were there before time began. I think I went, oh, oh, oh. You see, I had to take in breath there. And also, after difficult passages like melismas or high belts, just like I demonstrated. Now, also, it's possible to eliminate an area you should take breath. And if you want to sing the whole thing, I mean, that's okay. But you shouldn't take in breath where you're not supposed to. But you are allowed not to take in breath where you're supposed to, if that makes sense. Now, for instance, he who sits upon the throne, we worship you, we worship you. I did all that in one breath. I didn't take in breath between. It's up to you. But why not take in breath where you can take in breath? But if you're running out of air, you better take in breath. Not at the wrong spot, but at the right spot. Maybe the next one. And now let's listen to an example. All right, notice the spots where I take in breath. He who sits upon the throne, we worship you, we worship you. You are great beyond the farthest stars. Oh, eternal rock of ages, we worship you, we worship you. You were there before time began. Oh, mighty is our King, glorious in holiness, awesome in splendor, highly exalted, King of kings, Lord of all. Lord Jesus, you are, Lord Jesus, you are. Mighty is our King, glorious in holiness, awesome in splendor, highly exalted, King of kings, Lord of all. Lord Jesus, you are, Lord Jesus, you So as you may have noticed, there were natural lyrical pauses, there were musical phrase, and that allows rest for the next line. And also, you may have heard me use things I've taught you in the past classes like inflection, scoop, vocal squeak, vocal fry, vibrato, dynamics. They were all there. Here's how to practice breath points. Mark your sheet music. Use a symbol like a comma or an apostrophe or maybe a full stop to indicate a breath or the spot where you ought to take in breath. Also, use silent practice. Speak the lyrics rhythmically while making breath points. This helps internalize them. Okay, so that's the goal. So you should be able to internalize these things. And also you can breathe low and quiet. He who sits upon the throne, we worship you. Now, there's also a breathing that's like a style to add more emotion. That's different and that's intentional. For instance, he who sits upon the throne, we worship you. Now, that's not what I'm talking about. That one is audible, okay? That's natural, that's audible, and it's intentional. But practice breathing low and quiet, okay? So your breaths should be silent and quick. Also, coordinate with dynamics. Don't interrupt musical momentum with a breath. Try to breathe in rhythm. Now, here are some common mistakes singers make when breathing while they're singing. Breathing in awkward places that interrupt lyrical meaning. Do you know if you breathe in the wrong place, it can interrupt the lyrical meaning of the song? Yes, it sounds like it's insignificant, but it does interrupt the lyrical meaning. Now, also running out of air by trying to sing too many phrases on one breath. Also, that's one mistake singers make. And also loud audible gasp. And also another mistake singers make is neglecting to plan breath points entirely. And now, here are some style-specific breath use. Opera. Opera requires precise breath management due to long phrases and no microphones. Pop and rock often allows for more breath freedom, but still needs control for stylistic phrasing. And then musical theater. Musical theater combines acting and singing, so breaths are often both emotional and functional. And finally, jazz breath points may be more fluid due to phrasing and improvisation. So, in practicing how to be better in breathing while singing, there are two things. First one, breath support versus breath points. So we spend the whole of this episode talking about breath points. Breath points is where you breathe, okay? Where you're supposed to breathe within the lyrics. Breath support is how you use the air once you've inhaled. That's a different thing, okay? Combine these two things and you're gonna be great with your breathing while you sing. Thanks for watching. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe, and also click the join button if you want to be a special member of this channel. You'd have a badge beside your name. Not only that, you have priority to reply your messages or comments, and also you have access to things just being a subscriber wouldn't give you, like access to videos way early before I release them, and you get perks as well. Amazing, right? And also it's a way to support this channel. You find free categories, choose one that you can use to support this channel. So the join button is right below. Kindly click it and let's go. Now, see you later. Keep practicing. Bye.
If you can talk, you can sing. There is really nothing to it.
Breathe in, breathe out, add a little vibrato. Yes, anyone can sing, but you gotta be consistent.
Know your do re mi is just like 1, 2, 3.
You will be the best and you will sing so well. It's time to sing with Frank and T.